What is cancer? We all are afraid about this term. Sometimes it is called that cancer is a no-answer disease. First of all, cancer is not a single disease. It's a group of diseases. More than 100 varieties of cancers are seen in human bodies. Almost all of our body parts can develop cancer. According to World Health Organization, it is estimated that within 2025, every family of India will have at least one cancer patient. And that information is really scary. Therefore, we should know what is cancer, how it can occur in our body, and how we can prevent this. In this video, I will go to the details of all these things one by one. Our body contains trillions of cells. Now, each of these cells usually have a specific lifespan. Say for example, RBCs or red blood cells have a lifespan of 120 days. Though RBCs themselves do not carry any nucleus, so they cannot divide anymore, the other cells, which are nucleated cells, that means they carry nucleus, they can divide themselves, and after a certain time the cell population can renew themselves. As nothing is absolute in biology, there obviously are some exceptions for this cell division also. Nerve cells, which are present since our birth, can present in us till the end of our lifespan. That means nerve cells usually do not divide. Their lifespan is as long as our own lifespan is. Normal cells will divide by the help of cell division process. From one cell, two cells can be grown, etc. And some cells will die, and by this way the cells are renewed in our body. This cell division process is highly regulated. That means in case of normal cells, the cells can divide for a certain limits. After that, they will not divide anymore. This regulation is lost in cancers. Now, before going to the details of the characteristics of all the cancers, I just want to mention a few more things. Whatever occurs in our body, just like cell division, everything is regulated by genes. We all grow from a single cell. In that single cell, all the genes are present and are active. But as from the single cell, two cells are generated, then four cells are generated, and eventually trillions of cells of our body are generated. In that process, some genes are silenced, they are kept suppressed, and some genes are expressed. Depending on the differential expression of different genes, our body can develop different organs, different cell types, different tissue types, etc. Now, for cancers, each and every body cells present in us can generate a cancerous cell or a cancerous tissue mass. And obviously, some expression changes in genes are responsible for that. Sometimes genes themselves are changed suddenly, and that is called mutation. Gene mutation may suppress some necessary genes or can express some unwanted genes, and that may generate cancers. Likewise, some other mechanisms are there in our body which can silence some wanted genes or desired genes in our body, and suppression of the expression of those genes can develop cancer in our body. Now, what are the basic characteristics of cancers? First and the foremost thing is cell will divide uncontrollably. Just a few minutes earlier, I was telling that the cell division process is highly regulated, and that regulation is lost in case of cancers. So the cells continue to divide again and again and again. So there will be a chance that a cell mass will be generated. The second thing is all these cells which are generated, and these cells actually are called neoplastic cells. These neoplastic cells are immortal. Again, I was telling that all our body cells have a specific lifespan, but in case of cancer cells, that regulation is also lost. So the cells will not die. So they divide uncontrollably, and all those cells, newly generated neoplastic cells, are immortal. A huge cell mass can be generated. But remember one thing, all the cells present in the cell mass will need food. Therefore, the blood vessels present in the nearby regions will supply the food to those cells. Sometimes the blood vessels themselves cannot grow inside the cell mass. They are present just around the cell mass. So the cells present in the outer layer of those neoplastic cells, they will get food, but the inner core of cells, they will not get food. So eventually the cell mass will not spread anymore. In that case, the cell division and the cell mass growth, that is controlled after a certain limit. Here I should tell you about two things. That is, the cell mass which is generated, that is called a tumor. But tumor is not a cancer. Tumors can be of two types. When the blood vessels do not grow inside the cell mass and the cells stop, the cell mass will have a certain limit. That is called benign tumor, and the very good example of that is the warts which can form in our body. But the second variety of tumor, that is called malignant tumor or cancer, that will have blood vessels inside the cell mass. So when the cells will grow uncontrollably, they become immortal, and then when the blood vessels will grow inside them, the process is called angiogenesis. In that case, there is a chance that it will get malignant tumor or cancer. So angiogenesis is the most fatal thing, which is the indication of cancers. Now the fourth part. Each of our body organs are made up of millions of cells, and they are bound to each other very tightly. In case of cancer cell mass generation, the cells are very loose. They are not attached to each other very tightly. The cells are loose. Now, whenever the angiogenesis process starts and the blood vessels grow inside the tumor mass, the loosened cancerous cells can invade the blood vessels and can reach the bloodstream. Now through the bloodstream, they will circulate inside our body and may reach some other organs. Say for example, if the neoplastic cell mass is generated in breast, by the help of blood circulation, they may reach to our lungs. Now after reaching lungs, if the neoplastic cells from the breast can sit there and can get there attached to the lung cells, they can grow there indefinitely. As they are immortal and can divide uncontrollably, they will form a new tumor in lungs. This is the fourth step of cancer, and the process by which the cancerous cells reach the blood vessels and enters into it, that is called invasion, and by the process in which they will reach to the new organ and form another tumor, which is called a secondary tumor, that is called metastasis. So the fourth point is cancer cells will have invasion and metastasis. Now in this example, breast tumor, that is called the primary tumor, and when it forms another tumor in lungs after invasion and metastasis, that is called a secondary tumor. In this process, the cells can reach many organs in our body and can form various secondary tumors in those body organs. Obviously, when these new tumors are formed in many of our body organs will fail to work properly, and that is the main reason of multiple organ failure, which is the major cause of death from cancers. Now at the beginning of this video, I have told that cancer is sometimes called as a no answer disease. The reason for that is cancer is a multifactorial disease. As I was telling, that genes are mainly responsible for that. Gene mutation or gene silencing by some other changes like epigenetic changes, etc., can generate cancer. There are many other things which can help generate cancer. Say for example, some viruses are there, Epstein-Barr virus or human papilloma virus, they can help generate cancer inside us. For Epstein-Barr virus, we do not have a very good vaccine till now, but for human papillomavirus, we have vaccines. So by taking the vaccine against HPV or human papillomavirus, we can prevent cervical cancer in human females. The next major factor contributing to cancers is environmental factors. Many chemicals present in our environment can cause cancer. For example, formaldehydes. Formaldehyde is found in chemicals used for hair straightening processes. Ammonia, which is found in some hair colors. So if we can avoid these things, we can help us to prevent cancer. Another very good example for environmental factor is the mosquito repellents we use. That is also responsible for causing cancers in us. The last but probably the most important factor for generating cancers is diet. Many of us like kebabs or any kind of smoked fish, vegetables, etc. All these contain some chemicals which can cause cancer, and these are called very potent carcinogenics. The Chinese salt or Ajinomoto, that is also a very potent carcinogenic. The next example may be shocking to you. Most of us like to eat pickles. Any kind of pickled material can trigger cancer generation in us. Therefore, we can safeguard ourselves and can prevent cancers in us by avoiding some environmental factors and some dietary factors and by taking some vaccines. That's all for this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned. If you have any question, you can write those in the comments. If you like my video, just press the like button, subscribe my channel, and share it. Till my next video, bye.